So my aim is to try and do one of these. Oh, every week is probably pushing it. There's not enough happening in my life at the moment to be every week. But every time something in my life changes. So you can join me, I guess, on my journey to becoming a minister. It's Easter weekend, so 4th of April, Easter Sunday. And I thought I'd catch you up to date on what's happened so far, where I'm at. So for those of you that don't know my story, I'm going to start at the very beginning. Well, not like the very, very, very beginning, but the beginning of the most recent part of my journey with God. So October 2019, we had a situation in our church, and there was a possibility that we would end up with no minister. And I was driving home from work, just praying things over with God, talking about, what the right things to do were. And being single at the time, I jokingly said, well, maybe the new minister can be single, because I think I'd make a good minister's wife. At which point, God said, no, you're going to be the minister. And that was one of those times when I really, really knew it was God. Sometimes, you're not sure, but this occasion, I knew it was God. Because let's face it, that's not something I would ever have come up with. I was quite happy in the background. I'm the person in the background. Anyway, so God said to me, you're going to be the minister. So I prayed it over, and I spoke to a few good friends and Christian people that I trust. We prayed about it, and no one seemed to be surprised. It was just me who was surprised. Okay. So I said to God, okay, if this is what you want for me, you're going to have to show me how to do it. You have to show me the way. You're going to have to find the money. Because at that time I was struggling to pay my mortgage. I was holding down a full-time job, and I was struggling to pay my mortgage. And I didn't really see the way that I could afford to go to college. Especially not full-time, to go full-time and be a minister. Anyway, so I decided, as you do, that I needed a desk. All good ministers have a desk. You've seen it, whenever somebody records something, they're sitting at a desk with bookcases behind them. So, I decided that if I was going to be a minister, I needed a desk. So I started clearing a desk so I could have somewhere I could sit and work. And as I was clearing up, I found a leaflet that I'd picked up at the Big Church Day Out in May earlier that year. And it was an advert for the Equipped to Minister course at Spurgeon's. And God kind of nudged me and went, there you go, that's how you're going to do it. So I signed up to do the Equipped to Minister course, which started in January 2019, which means I got my date wrong earlier, and that God told me he wanted me to be a minister in October 2018. So I signed up to the Equipped to Minister course, and as part of doing that course, I learnt about becoming a lay minister, becoming a lay preacher, and what some of my options were. Because I didn't really know going into it, I didn't really know where I was going with this. I was just following what God was telling me he wanted me to do. But within the Baptists, in order to become a recognised lay preacher or a recognised lay minister, you have to go through a thing called ministerial recognition, or MinRec for short. So I applied to do that. And I had my MinRec interview in April, I think it was, last year, just after lockdown started. So it was done via Zoom. It was one of the first important things I did over Zoom, but I did that over Zoom. And then not only did they recommend me, which was, a little bit of a surprise, as this was all quite new and a little bit still scary and still not 100% sure it was really what I should be doing, but they recommended me to be a minister, and more than that, they said that they thought I should go for full recognition, that I should become an accredited minister. So in other words, go to college, do the full, degree, and become an accredited minister. So, okay. So I went away, I prayed about it, and God was saying, yes, this is what you've got to do, this is what I want you to do. So, okay, so the next step was I needed to apply to college. So, having been in the Colchester and Essex area since I was 18, I decided it's time to go somewhere else. I've got nothing really keeping me here. I've got family in Dorset, and I've got, you know, my mum and dad are in High Wycombe, so, you know, and there's a Baptist college in Bristol, so let's go give that a go. So I applied to Bristol Baptist College. I got into Bristol Baptist College. So my interview for Bristol Baptist College was at the beginning of this year, with the aim of starting in September. So yeah, they said yes, they'll take me, they want me. And so now that's kind of where I'm at. I'm into Bristol Baptist College. I'm starting in September. The next step is to find a church placement. I thought I was getting close to one, but then that fell through. And yeah, so I've kind of, the last few months have been a little bit stressful. I've put my house on the market, and I'm kind of got to a point. So last weekend things all kind of came to a head, and on the advice of my mentor, a good friend, she said, I think God's telling you, you need to pause and give it all back to him. Everything you're worrying about, everything you're trying to fix, everything you're trying to solve on your own, give it to God. So I did. That's what I did last weekend. I sat down, I wrote everything down, every single thing that was worrying me, and then I burnt it, which took some doing, and there were some tears, and yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done, but actually by the end of the morning I felt free. And I know God's got it all in control. I know that it's not up to me. He knows where he wants me. He's going to lead me to the right place, and I just have to wait for him. So my house is still on the market, but it hasn't sold yet. I've had a few viewers, but nobody's interested at the moment. And I have no idea where I'm going to be living or what church I'm going to be at come September. And for those of you who know me, you know that that's not a hugely comfortable place for me to be. I like to be organised, I like to know what's going on, I like to know what I'm doing, but that's where I'm at. And I am just trusting God that he will, well, I know he will, and I'm trusting him that he will point me in the right direction, that the right doors will open, and I will know where I'm going. So I will update you again, well, when I know where I'm going really, or whenever something happens, maybe when I sell the house. Yeah, whenever something happens that leads me to know where I'm going next. Okay, take care, y'all. Y'all? That was American. That was really American. Take care, guys. Take care, guys. Bye.